I'm scared. It could be anything. First impressions, a 6-book series. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. I hope you're all doing well and welcome back to another video. And today we're here to start another vlog. I'm really excited for it because I set myself a goal in 2024 that if I read my entire iBooks TBR that I currently have on my phone, I may treat myself to a Kindle. So in order to keep myself accountable with that goal, I thought I'd vlog every time I read an ebook off my iBooks account. And by doing that, we're going to be randomly picking which book I'm going to read off my iBooks account, which include books I've attempted to read before that I just didn't vibe with, as well as books I'm really excited for, as well as books that I brought without really knowing what the synopsis is, but they were free. So there's a whole variety, books outside my comfort zone, etc. So I've chucked them all in a spinner wheel, and the spinner wheel will dictate which book I read for this vlog. This vlog will just have one book in it, and then hopefully this will become like a mini series. Every time I read an ebook, I will vlog it, and then hopefully we'll get closer and closer to treating myself to a Kindle. Because the reason I'm doing this is because I can't really justify myself right now buying myself a Kindle, because I still have so many ebooks on my iBooks account and I'd like to get to at least before kind of recreating an entire other electronical book library, therefore foregoing the one I'm currently building on my iBooks account. So I just want like a fresh clean plate, no books on my iBooks account when I finally get around to getting a Kindle and getting KU and all that sort of fun stuff. So I want to get rid of that backlist first, and this is where this vlog series is going to come in. So without further ado, let's figure out what our first book is going to be. So let's get the ebooks spinner wheel up and spin it. Go. There you go. I'm scared. It could be anything. What will I be reading? My Conan only. Okay, that's not too bad. This is a rom-com. That's absolutely fine. I have just finished reading a 460-page fantasy book, so I'm very, very glad that it is just an easy rom-com. Let's go and see what this book is about, because it's one of those books that I did just get off the kind of like free book section on iBooks. So is this told in the male's perspective? By the time I was 17, I knew my best friend's younger sister was the only girl I was ever gonna love. We're all grown up now, but my feelings for Andy have never changed. She's the smartest woman I know and the only one who sees through the carefree act I hide behind. She deserves better than a scrub like me. The tumble-down house she inherited needs repairs. I jump on my white horse and swoop in to help her with the renovations, even though it means spending dangerous amounts of time together. I got it under control until the night surprise kiss changes everything between us. One scorching hot taste of her is all it takes to shatter my defences. Now that I know how much she wants me, I'm addicted to our secret glances and stolen touches. Around my friends and family, we pretend we're still just friends. But when we're alone, we can't keep our hands with each other. This game we're playing is bound to blow up in our faces, just like everything else I touch. My Conan Only is a swoony, feel-good, friends-to-lovers romance featuring a STEM heroine who takes no crap, a surprising loyal bad boy rocker who's head over heels for one woman he thinks he can't have, lots of small-time shenanigans, and an epic grovel. It's a standalone with a guaranteed happily ever after and kicks off a 6-book King's Family series. Your heart will melt for this band of unruly siblings behind a Texas ice cream empire as they stumble onto a rocky road to love while dealing with their big messy family. I should have just read that last bit. I'm scared about the 6-book series, but I was wondering where the Conan Only pun comes into it. So it's a family who own an ice cream parlour, I believe, and then each book will follow a different sibling. So it's got a 4-star rating on iBooks, so let's just give it a go and see. I will keep you posted. Hopefully I can read a little bit soon and kind of give you like first like 50 to 100 pages sort of update, like first impressions, and we'll go from there. But I'm kind of excited. I definitely need a palate cleanser after having finished Finale by Stephanie Garber, because that ending. So let's go ahead and read this one. Okay, from that contents page, I can already tell it's told in dual perspective. I love me dual perspective romances, so first impressions, fingers crossed. today. It's now currently Mark's birthday and I'm doing a whole separate vlog for that, but I thought I'd come in because one, I have a parcel to open, which is always fun to do on camera, and two, to let you know that I'm now about 40 pages in to my Conan Only by Susanna Nix, which obviously this whole vlog is about, trying to get through my ebook TBR before maybe potentially treat myself to a Kindle. I'm 40 pages in. I've done 2 chapters, one in the perspective of Wat and one in the perspective of Andy. You get 2 perspectives, both from each love interest, so the female and the male of this story. I don't know why my cheek is a bit dodgy, so don't mind that. Currently read from both obviously perspectives, and both perspectives have currently been pining over each other, but they just don't know that they like each other, so potentially could be some miscommunication in this book, which won't be my favourite thing ever. But so far the writing's really easy. I'm intrigued. I am already kind of forgetting that I'm reading, and when I love that in books, chef's kiss, when you kind of just like turn the page and you're constantly kind of like forgetting that you're reading and just kind of like immerse yourself. So far so good. I'm enjoying it. Kind of obviously only 40-ish pages into it on the ebook as well, not obviously as a physical, so I feel like I would only be like 20 pages into the physical book if I had it. So yeah, enjoying it so far, but without further ado, let's open this bad boy. I know exactly what it is. Chloe was doing an unhaul on her channel and I saw that she still had possession of Geekarella by Ashley Poston. And if you've seen my reading vlog of the first week of 2024, then you'll know that I've read Bookish and the Beast by Ashley Poston and gave it a 3.5 stars. So I kind of now want to read the rest of the books in the Once Upon a Con series by Ashley Poston, which is her YA companion, like romance series. So when Chloe was getting rid of it, I said if she still had it, can I please get sent it? So she sent it my way. This apparently she really enjoyed and gave it like a 4.5 stars. So I'm really excited to read it, seeing as I enjoyed Bookish and the Beast as well. So here it is. Oh, I'm really excited to read it. Oh, it's like, it's different, a different sturdiness, different print quality to the Bookish and the Beast, which I'll talk about more in my wrap up. But this one is a little bit longer. It's 320 pages, and this one basically follows our main character, Elle. I'm assuming it's a Cinderella retelling. Bookish and the Beast was a retelling of Beauty and the Beast. So this one follows Elle, who sees a cosplay contest sponsored by the producers of Starfield. Starfield is like the universe of this trilogy, and Starfield is basically like a made-up version of Star Wars, fanfic sort of thing. Elle's been scraping together tips from her gig at the Magic Pumpkin food truck behind her stepmother's back. Winning this contest could be her ticket out once and for all, not to mention a fangirl's dream come true. So yeah, excited to read this one. Not sure when I'm going to read it, but thank you very much, Chloe, for sending it my way. I'm really excited to read it after having really enjoyed Bookish and the Beast by Ashley Poston, the 3rd book in the Once Upon a Con series. This is the first one. The second one is Princess and the Fangirl, I believe. I'm not sure what retelling that one is, but I guess I'll have to read it to find out. It is now Sunday, the next day. I managed to read about 48 pages of my Conan Only yesterday throughout the day. Kind of, obviously, it was, if you didn't know, it was Mark's birthday yesterday, so we spent all day in London. I'm not sure if you're seeing this vlog or Mark's birthday vlog before or after, because 2024 I'm just kind of filming and vlogging whatever, and then I'll just upload when and if I can have a slot in my content calendar. So I'm not sure what you've seen, but I'm on page 48, yes. So I don't know how many pages exactly that is in the physical book because I'm reading it on my phone. So it says it's 502 pages, which is not true. It's like 300 and something pages. So I really don't know how far I got into it. But this year I'm obviously using Corpal to track my reading. And I am literally just saying in Corpal that the book is 502 pages because technically I'm reading 502 pages. Yes, it may be with a phone, but I'm technically still reading those pages. So I'm not gonna do the pages per book, I'm doing the pages that I've actually read, which is 502 pages, which seems very daunting. I'm not sure how much I'm going to get read today though, because we're off to play badminton and then I've got a Sunday lunch with my family, which would be really nice. However, I did decided to pop on here, not to give you a reading update, but to give you a book haul. Yesterday, obviously we were in London for Mark's birthday. Let me just change the camera angle a little bit to make it a bit better. And Mark wanted to go into Waterstones to find a book called The Falling by T.J. Newman. I'll put the cover up on screen. Unfortunately we didn't find it, but we found a book that I've wanted for quite a while. Every time I go into Waterstones it's always out of stock. They had a copy, so I picked it up and then I was like, I might as well pick up the sequel because then at least I know that if I finish the first book and I love it, I can go into the second one, and also then I won't have the issue like I did with Finale by Stephanie Garber, where I left it years after it came out and then I really struggled to find the matching edition. So I just picked up both. Yes, I spent 30 quid on books yesterday. I only brought 2 books, but it's fine. So I picked up Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. I've been hearing incredible things about this, and obviously this year is my year to get into fantasy, and seeing as I've heard such incredible things about this book, I thought, why the hell not give it a go? The text is tiny, but I'm hoping the book will fly by. It is an audiobook on Everand as well, so yeah, I'm very excited to get to it, and these covers are absolutely stunning. I don't usually tend to buy fantasy hardbacks because obviously I'm not 100% into fantasy yet, and I don't like wasting my money on books I may not enjoy, but these covers are stunning. And then I also picked up the second book, Ruthless Vows. So I'm really hoping I joined a series because obviously I've got the second book now. So I picked up these 2 books yesterday. I'm really excited to read them. They're so pretty and they look stunning together. I'm so excited. So yeah, hopefully I can read these soon because it's ridiculous how many books I've already brought in January and versus how much I've read. But hopefully I'm going to smash out a lot of reading this evening once I get back from my family's, and then smash out the rest tomorrow, hopefully. Obviously my Conan Only is a really easy adult rom-com, so it really shouldn't take that long to read. I'm hoping I can smash out a lot over the next couple of days, but I'll keep you posted. I'll probably next come in with another update soon, but yeah, that is the plan so far.
And the pancakes, I mean the pancakes for life. I feel like Bill's do better. I couldn't take it or leave it. If there was no...
Happy Monday. Mark is at his mum's this evening, so I have part of the evening just to chill out and relax. I've already had dinner, made myself a cup of tea, and it is 50 minutes-ish, 45 minutes until Chloe starts her Patreon live reading sprints for this evening. So I thought I'd join those, get some reading in, and keep myself company with some fellow bookish people. So that's the plan for this evening until Mark gets home. I am now actually 222 pages into it. Obviously last time I updated you I was only like 48 pages into it maybe. I'm flying through this book now. I'm 43% of the way through it and I'm enjoying it for what it is. It's a smutty, steamy, not too much smut, and it's friends to lovers but more like best friends to lovers, and then also kind of like brother's best friend as well, which is kind of interesting take. It's very kind of grumpy sunshine. The dude doesn't like commitment. Addie, the female love interest, wants commitment, and they can kind of like never meet paths. They always like bump heads, but they're best friends. So they don't want to lose what they currently have. And it's just a lot of back and forth, and I'm actually really enjoying for what it is. So no, it's not the best written book in the world. No, it's not going to win any awards, whatnot, but it's fun for what it is, and I'm excited to finish it. I'm hoping I can get to at least like page 300, 350 today, and then smash out the rest tomorrow, so I can end this vlog and get going with my next vlog, because I'm just in a massive reading mood at the minute, and I just want to read loads of books, and I think my next book might actually be Throne of Glass, which I'm doing a whole reading vlog for as well, so keep your eyes peeled for that one. Yeah, hopefully Chloe will start sprinting soon and I can get lots of reading done. I have now finished the book, My Conan Only by Susanna Nix, which is really exciting. So we've come to the end of this vlog. Before I leave you guys, I thought I'd show you kind of how I fill in my reading journal once I've finished the book. So let's head into my reading journal and I can kind of explain what it's all about and kind of how I track my reading in there. So let's go. So the first thing I do when I get into my reading journal is to fill in my year in books kind of bookshelf, and I think if you have a reading journal everyone has this type of page, and I basically just write the title of the book that I've just finished. I haven't decided whether I want to do colour coding, depending on star rating, depending on month, depending on genre. I haven't decided that yet, so I'm just keeping it all blank. The next thing I do is go in and see if I've completed any of my reading goals by completing the book I just finished. So I've actually completed 2 with this book I just finished, My Conan Only. I finished 1 iBooks book and one book that's completely unknown to BookTube, and then I get to colour in a nice little square for my reading goal, which is obviously 50 books this year. I'm on book number 5 already. I am way ahead of my reading schedule, which is brilliant. It's so exciting. And then I head into my pages per day like yearly tracker, and every kind of collection of pages corresponds to a different colour, so I just go in and make sure I'm colouring in the square with the correct colour. And on the 15th I read between 100 and 150 pages, so that was a dark green. And then on the 16th I read a little bit less, which was an orange, I believe, or it's orange a little bit more, I can't remember. That's why I have a key, because I cannot remember off the top of my head. Yeah, yellow is a little bit less. And then I flip through making sure all my spreads are up to date. I haven't really touched any of these yet. I haven't gone to the cinema at all in 2024 yet. So sad. And then I go into my monthly spreads for January and I complete my dashboard of my pages read per day. This is just a really simple kind of bar graph tracker where I just document how many pages I read per day, and then I colour in the bar all the same colour no matter how much I read that day, and add in the exact number of pages I read. So it might only lead up to page 100, but I will say like I read 103 pages or whatnot. So that is the next thing I do in my reading tracker. And then finally, once I've done all my colouring in and made my spread look all nice and pretty, I go in and start doodling the book cover in a kind of simple way. This is one of the trickier things to do in my reading journal. I love how it looks, I love how it turns out. It's just one of those things that take a little bit more time because I'm trying to represent the book cover in such a tiny space. So I'm basically just trying to call out any of the key details on that book cover. I then go into my stats page and make sure that's all up to date, and then it's time to write my low-key book review. It's kind of like all the easy things filled in my reading journal. The last thing I kind of need to go in and do is my kind of like book review. And the way that I'm doing book reviews in my reading journal, so I'm not repeating myself across Goodreads, across my YouTube channel, I'm doing my book reviews in my reading journal slightly differently, and I'm going to be explaining that more in my January wrap up. But basically what I'm going to be doing is more of like where I was reading the book, what I was feeling, kind of what Mark was doing whilst I was reading, whilst like kind of what my reading experience was, more so than like this is what happened in the book, this was the plot, this is how I felt about it. So I kind of want to like take a different angle of book reviews in my reading journal that are more kind of like personal to me, my reading experience, my environment whilst reading, etc, etc. So I'm going to go downstairs while Mark is playing his game to do that. So we're going to have a bit of a change of scenery, and then I'll probably read out what I'm writing in my kind of book review area as a voiceover, so you can kind of get an idea of what I'm kind of writing in this section of the reading journal, and then my reading journal will be all up to date. So once I finished setting up the box that I was going to write my review in, this is the same across all my January reads because I like consistency and a theme, I started writing my review, and I basically gave this book a 4-star. So I have the cover and the star rating underneath it, and then I wrote, one of my mini reading challenges this year is to get through my iBooks TBR, and if I do, I can treat myself to a Kindle. My Conan Only ended up being the first book for this little challenge. I ended up really enjoying it. It was a cute, fun and easy romance, and for once I didn't hate reading it on my phone. Although there was miscommunication and no, it wasn't the most perfectly written book, the romance was super cute and it definitely exceeded my expectations. I read this book for a vlog entirely on my phone. So basically what I'm using these kind of sections for in my reading journal is basically just to document how I felt about the book, my environment surrounding it. So for example, when I wrote my little review about Heartstopper, I basically wrote, binge this volume on the sofa on New Year's Day. It was such a good feeling getting a book read and finished on the first day of the year. i.e. Crying in H Mart was an audiobook I read the first week of the year, and the last little sentence is, I listened to this solely on my commute to and from work, listened to it at 1.5 times speed. So I'm basically using this section of my reading journal to document more so my reading experience rather than my thoughts and feelings and a review or the plot and description of the book, because I'm covering that on my YouTube channel as well as on my Goodreads account. So if you want full in-depth thoughts, then you can check out my YouTube video. So hi, thank you for watching. Also my Goodreads, because so far 5 out of 5 books I read this year have been reviewed on Goodreads. So overall, yes, I ended up really enjoying this book that I read in this blog, My Conan Only by Susanna Nix, giving it a 4-star rating, which I'm so shocked about. I just wasn't expecting anything from this book, so the fact that I ended up really enjoying the romance just kind of really added to the, I guess, unexpected surprise to this book. I really had no expectation going into this book at all with what it was about, kind of what to expect. I never heard the book before, I never heard of the author before, so it was very much a unknown book to me, as well as I think to you guys, because I've never heard of it before. So I did actually tick off one of my unknown books on my little book tracker for my yearly goals, because I haven't heard anyone talk about it, which is great. And yeah, like I said, I ended up really enjoying it. If you're looking for a cute romance, I would actually really recommend it. No, the writing wasn't amazing, but it was easy to read, it was fun, it was quick. It basically follows two main characters told in dual perspective about Andy and Watt, and they have been best friends for forever because Watt and Andy's brother are best friends as well. So they all end up kind of like growing up together, and they don't know each other, like each other sort of thing. So there is miscommunication in this book, but it didn't actually bother me too much. And then they never get together because they think Andy's brother is going to be really upset when they do, or if they do. The only thing that kind of like actually grabbed me is that this is a 6-book series, and the 4 out of the 6 books haven't come out yet. So it's very much an ongoing series. And it's all about the King family. So Watt is one of the King brothers, and each book follows a separate brother, and this family own a massive kind of like ice cream parlor, kind of big ice cream business. And so hence the title of this book, My Conan Only, because they all kind of have food, ice creamy puns as the title. However, you didn't really get much of that sort of like situation scenarios in this book, because Watt is very distant from his family for reasons I won't explain, because that kind of spoils a little bit of the plot. So he's very distant from his family, and he doesn't really like the family business, so he doesn't really like kind of do anything to be part of the family business, and therefore the title doesn't really make sense, because yes, Watt is part of this big kind of family empire who owns a massive ice cream parlor, but he doesn't have a kind of like forthcoming part of that business, so therefore he really isn't part of the business. So therefore the title was a bit out of whack. I'm assuming because you got a lot about the other brothers in this book particularly, as each book kind of progresses, I'm assuming each book will kind of warrant its title a bit more, because all of the other brothers are a lot more kind of involved in the family business. So as my memory card is running out, as well as my battery, I'm going to leave it here. I end up really enjoying it. I would actually recommend it. I really hope you enjoyed this kind of like single solo book vlog, as well as kind of like how I'm using my reading journals. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a massive thumbs up and subscribe down below. If you got to the end, please leave a pencil emoji to kind of like symbolize me filling out my reading journal at the end of this vlog in the comments down below. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future content, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys!